Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the pod episode 31. Am I the main character in my life? With special guest Stephanie Jones. This curiosity comes from many channeled messages with Jonah, where we've heard you say, if you're not being the main character in your life, you are playing a supporting role that is expendable. There's some confusion with this. We're in every scene. It's our voice that narrates the story. The movie doesn't end when someone dies, and maybe it does when we do.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do we know if we are in charge of our own narrative? How do we access that part of ourselves? For me, this really feels like a deeper conversation where we dive into the four core wounds and helping us to better understand that. And as always, these conversations are to empower, to bring awareness to ourselves, and to simplify these concepts, which Jonah does so beautifully and succinctly.
Yeah,
So,
and
welcome.
thank you so much. Thank you for that invitation. Thank you for joining us, Stephanie. And thank you for opening up this conversation that cannot be fully understood in a single setting. There's no way to fully digest the understanding of this because of the longevity with the experience of not being fully your own character, your own story. This is more common than not. And to know it, there's something that you said, there was an immediate thread that pulled through, which was the how do I know if I'm narrating my own story, right? There's a lot of language used of, it's my voice in my head, and that's the first question. How do you know that it's your voice in your head? What's speaking through you? What are the thoughts? Where did they come from? Is this your parents' voice? Is this your friend's voice? Is this your neighbor's voice? Is this your teacher's voice? Is this your mentor's voice? Your some authority figure in the world? How do you know what voice it is? And the only way to know what voice it is if you are willing to become more aware, to observe the voice itself, to observe the voice, to discover where it's coming from, and to notice the texture or sensation of the voice. Does the voice have a loving devotion for your future? Or does the voice have expectation? Does the voice have outcome, need, fear, shame, judgment? If the voice is including anything other than loving support of what's possible, it is not your voice. Feels simple. Yes, feels simple. And yet, as we say it, the idea of observing this voice, of observing that voice and thinking, well, have I ever known my own voice? Have I ever heard a thought move through my head that was really me? And for some, they have not had that moment. For some, they're moving through the world, and every voice, every thought, every conversation, every thought and planning, every conversation they're having with themselves and others is a regurgitation of what they've heard. It's a refining, a one-upping of the knowledge, of the wisdom of what I've gained outside of myself, my interpretation through the mind of what love is, of what intelligence is, of what value is, what it is to matter, what it is to have meaning in the world. I have defined that by the outside world and become the memorizer of what the rest of the characters in the play want to experience. And so I find my meaning by showing up to be their character. And if I am a strong enough character, if I play that role well, then I will have meaning to them, and they will love me, and they will value me, and they will care for me and want to connect with me and want to be with me. And therefore I will matter. I will be the main character. And yes, you can feel this piece inside of you, this survival mechanism, this part of the body that wants to maintain who you are. And so when you're not fully embodying your own character, you feel afraid of being exposed. If anyone knowing you feel afraid of not surviving, of not being accepted, of not belonging. All of these fears arise when you have this unconscious or conscious sense that you are expendable in the lives of others. You are not what they wake up thinking about every day. You are not their main character, nor should you be. but many keep striving for it until the moment of awakening. There'll be an interruption in the stream of thoughts and the thought forms that are filling the mind. An interruption that says there's got to be better. Whose opinion am I listening to? You begin with the curiosity of who is going to be my voice? Which character do I want to emulate? And so you begin awakening by choosing a character you prefer, still not you. And in the choosing of that character, you begin to feel just a bit better, but not quite there. You try on purpose and you try on ideas still of what this new personality persona has decided to try out in the world, and you don't feel the fulfillment. An indication that there's more. There are more layers to move through in order to come to you. And again, to know you is to notice. Others have told me that I should love myself. Others have told me that I should be loving and kind, and that I shouldn't make it about the money, and I shouldn't make it about, getting from others or control. And I hear these messages, and so I'm memorizing what it is to be in this other frequency of what it should look like. And then comes the invitation to be it, to allow the vibration into the body, to awaken to what's been there all along. A sensation of you that begins to define itself. You begin to find meaning for what it feels like to be you by bringing the feeling state of an essence of you in. And you begin to uncover, I do love, and I love like this. It feels like this. This is love for me. Then you begin to feel, this is what fulfillment feels like for me. This is what excitement feels like and looks like. These are the senses that arise. And so you awaken to the vibration that moves through your being that informs you of you. And the information comes from within, having to get curious, ponder, contemplate, be in meditation with. Spend time observing the vibrational frequency. Spend time observing the feeling state, the essence of you without the labels, so that you can discover you. And in the discovering of you comes the inspiration to express you. And as you express you, you begin to choose the thoughts that you will think and that you will contribute to the world. And the thoughts begin to arise and move beyond you as a creation, not as a regurgitation, but a creation. Using the words to form ideas and thoughts and to express what you're feeling, to find a way that will never quite be adequate, but you continue to express anyway. Wanting to express you more fully and more fully and more fully. And then you are directing your experience, and anyone outside of you is living their own experience, and you come in together in order to support each other living your experience, but no one needs each other for anything. You come together, you converge, you create, you play, you amplify, you experience each other as yourselves, both main characters.